Alright, yo, what up? This is y'all shook up. Just gonna show you a pretty fun build that I've been enjoying. I've been playing on live stream, but before we get into that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your support. I can't thank you enough. So with that said, we're gonna get into the stat sheet. This is basically Blast Bones, Wrecking Blow, Charm, Leap build. This thing is super fun to play. Blast Bones into Leap is just too much. So for my stats right now, I got 36, 35 resistances, 27 critical, and then my recoveries. They do go up because of the sets I'm wearing. Like I said, you know, the recovery, you know, for me, it's pretty easy. You could run a different food, but, you know, I got 28 stamina, almost 29 max stamina, 32 max health, 19, almost 20 max magicka. So I got a lot of stats to pull from. I'm running the lady. I'm using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. And let's go to the front bar. Now our weapon damage doesn't seem too high, but the sets we're wearing, I got physical 7,800 physical penetration, but because of the skill we're using, I will have actually another 3k, so more like 11,000 physical penetration, which is kind of crazy. 33 front bar spell resistance and 32 front bar physical, 26 crit, and then I got 24% weapon crit, 4,500 weapon damage, 1,000 max recovery, magicka recovery, 995 stamina recovery. So this build hits extremely hard due to the sets and just how much pressure you're putting on them. And you know, you have a big, you're going with a higher stamina pool, so you know you tend to hit extremely hard. And then plus the sets we're wearing. So let's get into the sets first. So for the weapon, Essence Thief. So I really enjoy playing it this way with Essence Thief. It just seems to really hit hard, especially when you get that 10% you know, damage done. It does hit extremely hard. And then, you know, you restore. You also get recovery. So I use a maul for the penetration and a sharpen. Now you could make this actually hit just a little bit harder if you went with a sword. You lose some penetration, but you could actually switch that out, so that's an option. Then I'm running Wretched back bar. I know it's not meta, but it's one of the better sets in the game if you ask me. For recovery, you know, it just gives you so much recovery. So even though it says 900, you're really like 17, basically over 2,000 when everything's said and done. And then I'm running critical resistance on the board with Triglyph. You don't have to run this poison. I basically run whatever I want. Sometimes I run this. I don't have any special poison. There is a poison that I do want to run that I've seen that I need to check out. And then Balorgs. Balorgs hits extremely hard. I'm running a Triglyph with a medium helmet. It would be better if you had heavy, but I don't have it. Running in pin and Balorgs. I mean, your weapon damage gets a lot higher, right? But maybe you get around 6,000 weapon damage. But the thing is your stamina pool plus that 10% damage increase plus 10% with the Wrecking Blow. I mean, you're really looking at, you know, 16 to 17k, maybe, you know, low 17k Wrecking Blows, and you know you're hitting them with Blast Bones. So I mean, this shit hits extremely hard. It's all about timing with this build. And then One Piece Trainee, heavy, tri-stat, and reinforced. And you could switch this to critical resistance, to be honest, and switch this to critical resistance, and then run a different CP. But it's all kind of on how you want to do it. That's a heavy, and then shoulders heavy. I would rather have this one medium if I was gonna have something medium. I'm running heavy shoulders though, Balorgs. Stamina, reinforced, increased armor value, and you know, Balorgs. I'm running a One Piece light, Wretched Vitality with stamina and pin. Heavy hands, tri-stat and pin. heavy legs, tri-stat, impin, medium shoes, essence thief, tri-stat, and impin. And then for the necklace, I'm running essence, weapon damage, movement speed, mark of majesty. Now you could switch. So if you're struggling with sustain, you could technically. I don't personally. I don't think you're going to struggle with sustain. But if you wanted to, you could run Death Dealer's Feet and run Smoke Bear Haunch, or you could just run Smoke Bear Haunch and leave this on. It's up to you. I like Mark of Majesty. And then Essence Thief with recovery and infuse to boost those recoveries. Now you could even switch this to weapon damage, because I feel like I could recover very well with this combo right here, because Essence and Wretched together is basically you're recovering pretty good. And then for the skills, so Blast Bones, right? This thing hits extremely hard, but really when it goes off, you're getting more penetration. So you really can't go wrong with that. And increase your damage down with overtime effects. So believe it or not, your reverse slice, it has a bleed, so it is considered, I believe, a damage over time of. Oh no! I'm thinking of Whirling Winds, but either way, the damage over time effect does actually come in play if you use Dawnbreaker, because I believe this one does additional damage physical over 6 seconds. So I like to use Blast Bones into Leap. So Blast Bones, and then Healing Contingency. It's Charm. It's one of my favorite skills in the game. It's just too strong. I personally, I love to play this way. It's my favorite way to play. You snare them. If they don't snare, you get resources back. You get Major Prophecy. It works out pretty good. Wrecking Blow, you could really punish people with this. Like I said, just basic stats without even really buffing up. My Wrecking Blow 11,000. With you get your little passive from taking a flag. You're at like 11.7, 10%, 10%. I mean, you're like I said, you're basically sitting at low 17k. Dawnbreaker goes off. You're mid 17, which is very strong. What you'll find is that you'll slap people very hard, and if this lands with this and this, it's basically over. I've only landed a couple times on the money, and it's just so much damage. It's hard to survive that. And then gotta have your execute. So basically, front bar, Blast Bones, Healing Contingency, Wrecking Blow, Executioner, Deep Fissure, and Take Flight. I am a Warden main. So, sorry, I should have said that in the beginning. I am a Warden main, and I am also using Orc. Before we get into Orc, though, actually, you know what? I'll just show you real quick, because it's not going to take me that long. Orc. You guys already know, but if you're new, Orc's passives: increase max stamina, increase max health. When you deal damage, you heal for 2,160. D8, this can occur once every 4 seconds. Pretty strong. You increase your spell and weapon damage, reduce the cost of sprint, movement speed. You really just can't go wrong with Orc, right? And like I said, I'm a Warden main. Vigor, can't go wrong with that. Healing Soul, super strong heal. Grants you major vitality, increasing your healing receive and damage shield strength by 12%, which I have a damage shield. So this thing gets absolutely buffed. I hit this into this, and I become extremely tanky. No one's really talking about this little combo right here. Healing Soul into Hardened Armor is got to be one of the strongest. Like, it really, really is strong. So don't sleep on that little combo. And then Blue Betty, it's free. I like to spam it. Nothing, I personally, it just works out perfect. Like I said, Hardened Armor, don't sleep on this. It's cheap. Bird of Prey, helps me with, reducing some of the damage from the area attacks on my back bar. Can't go wrong with this. Grants you speed, snare removal, and then spell wall. So the passives on this are also pretty strong. It's the increased physical and spell resistance. So there's a lot you can do. The health recovery is basically pointless. But you also get healing receive with this, increase the amount of damage you can block. So, you know, it's pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. Dragon's back part's pretty nice. So, let's see what else. Oh, yeah. And we go champion points. Now, personally, I use Master's Arm, Deadly Aim. Master's Arm, Deadly Aim, Ironclad, Resilience. Like I said, you don't have to use Resilience. You can basically take off Resilience, but I wouldn't recommend it. I use these two for defense and these two for offense. And then Celerity, Survival Instincts, Pain, Refuge, Sustained by Suffering. Juggernaut, it is a good, you know, it does help you reduce damage, but personally I wouldn't. I just go this way. Kind of helps you out a little bit. You know, Survival Instincts, you can't go wrong with this. Scale 25% is a lot. And, you know, Pain's Refuge, reduce the damage taken. I mean, that's a lot. So those two and Celerity, this is maybe the only one you could play around with. But also, that's how you're able to recover a lot. So, and the green tree doesn't really matter. I don't even know if I have it on there right. Does make a difference. So, trying to see if I'm forgetting anything. Nothing that I can think of. I mean, this build, essentially what you're doing, and I'll link some live stream gameplay into the thing, but essentially what you're doing is you want to charm them. You want to, right, try to make this, right, so it's not going to go off in time, and then once you, so this is how if I'm running up to someone, I hit this. Now I always send this, right, because I want them to feel that pressure, and then essentially I'm going to send this, and then you want to try to have it all land at once. You see what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy. I'll have some live stream gameplay. I was going to put clips. I got some crazy X's with this setup. I was going to do some clips, but my time's short, and, you know, I appreciate all you guys' support. Like, I can't thank you enough, you know. It's just, you know, I love making videos, and I will have a live stream link to this video so you guys can check it out, see what I was basically working with. But, yeah, definitely appreciate all the support, and I'll be live streaming Sundays and Tuesdays. Sometimes if I miss, I'll try to let you guys know, but if you have any questions, if there was something I forgot, just let me know. And if you guys have any tips or anything that you know, think that would improve the build besides, you know, obviously I need this to be heavy, you know, and then this to be medium. But, you know, how much of a difference is that going to really make? So, alrighty, guys, take it easy. Out.